Hi guys, it's Ray here from J4K, J4K. Hope you're fitting well. So in this quick video, I'm going to be showing you and explaining to help you understand how wear and tear happens on a goalkeeping glove. So this video is probably more for parents of a goalkeeper, or especially parents of a goalkeeper who's just started off in goal, because obviously a lot of parents will not understand, obviously, one, how wear and tear happens, and two, more importantly, how they can prevent it so it prolongs the life of the goalkeeping glove. Now, I'm also going to explain as well in this video the importance of taking 2 pairs of goalkeeping gloves with you to every game, especially away games, because when you get to away games, you never know what type of playing surface that you're going to be on. So I'll explain about that in a moment. But the first thing I want to talk about is after you've washed your goalkeeping gloves, the importance of storage or drying your goalkeeping gloves. As you can see here, guys, all the cracks on this glove. Now, the reason why that's happened is because it was left out in direct sunlight. Now, this is only a prototype glove, okay? So I basically only get like left hands. We only get one glove. And basically, we're just testing out these gloves before we decide what gloves we want to put on our website. So we basically left this in our warehouse. We would never have done this if we were using the gloves. It was only because they're prototypes. But we left these in our warehouse in direct sunlight. And look at the damage, obviously, direct sunlight can do, guys, okay? So imagine leaving your gloves in direct sunlight and then you go and play a game where we can see all these cracks have already started. That glove is going to, if that was worn in a game situation, guys, even on a good playing surface, that will wear away pretty fast, because how you dry your gloves is very important. So rule number 1 is don't put your gloves in direct sunlight when you've washed your goalkeeping gloves. What I did and what I recommend you do is dry them at room temperature. What I did when I played in goal is I'd put a towel on top of my cupboard, then I'd put the gloves on top of the towel, away from the direct heat, and they were allowed to dry at room temperature. Because if you dry them too fast, again, don't put them on radiators or anything like that. Don't put them in a tumble dryer. You've got to remember, this is a very, very soft latex, and anything that is going to dry this latex out will completely destroy your goalkeeping gloves. So it's important that you just let the gloves dry naturally. Don't give any artificial heat like radiators, especially in the direct sunlight, guys. So that's rule number 1. Also, as well, the reason why we always recommend take 2 pairs of gloves with you to a game situation, especially away games, because sometimes you just don't know what playing surface you're going to be on, especially when you see, we've all been there where you go and there's hardly any grass on the field. That's obviously after the winter season, everything dries out, and then literally these big massive patches of no grass. It's all solid soil, and again, that only happens in the 6-yard box, frustratingly, which is not, first of all, it's not nice to dive on. So on an off topic, make sure that you wear your padded compression stuff when the ground's hard. Super important to do that, guys. Anyway, back to the goalkeeping gloves. So you can imagine that, imagine wearing a pair of goalkeeping gloves and there's hardly any grass on the pitch. Honestly, guys, it doesn't matter if you're wearing the most expensive goalkeeping gloves in the world. If you're diving and you're landing and you're trying to get up and the ground, as I say, has got no grass on it, you can imagine these grits, these stones, these sands, etc. As you're getting up, that is going to completely destroy your glove palm, and there's nothing you can do about it, frustratingly, guys. So that's why we always say take 2 pairs of goalkeeping gloves with yourself. One's your brand new pair, one you might have had for, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 weeks, for example. Then I'd always recommend you wear the gloves that are a bit older and they've already got some wear and tear, because it doesn't matter, because you're on a playing surface that, as I say, takes the advantages away of wearing the best gloves that you got, if that makes sense. So that's why we always recommend always take 2 pairs of gloves. It's super, super important. Another thing that will completely destroy your gloves very fast is artificial surfaces, especially artificial surfaces that are dry. That's why it's important to dampen your glove while you play. I'll explain about that in a moment. But because if you wear a goalkeeping glove that's dry, and you play on a dry surface, guys, it doesn't matter if it's grass or artificial surface. If you wear your goalkeeping gloves dry on a dry surface, your gloves are going to disintegrate pretty fast, okay? Because I'll keep saying, guys, it's a soft latex, and anything that dries that latex out, basically it's going to be a lot of wear and tear on that pretty fast. So that's why we always say, look, dampen the palms of your gloves, so you make sure that you wet the palms of the gloves, because 1, that's what gives it the grip, and 2, because it goes like sponge-like, so that's what gives it the grip. But 2, it'll also last longer as well, because it's not on a dry surface. There's moisture added, so your gloves will actually last longer. And again, I've seen so many goalkeepers still make this mistake. They'll dampen the gloves before they play, but then they'll wait till half time to dampen them again. Guys, that's no good, okay? Because your body heat will naturally dry your gloves out. very fast, very fast, especially on dry days. And the last thing you want to be doing is wearing dry goalkeeping gloves on a dry playing surface, guys. Literally, your gloves, you'll be lucky to get 4 weeks out of your gloves if you do that. So it's super important that you dampen your gloves before you play. So you dampen the palms, before you play, and you dampen the gloves while you play as well. That's why you see a lot of goalkeepers taking bottles of water with them on the pitch. One, to hydrate, but also two, they'll have a quick drink to hydrate themselves. Then the next one, quick swig, spit on the gloves, and they use that water to keep their gloves, their glove palms damp. Super important, guys. Okay. Another thing that you must do as well to prolong your goalkeeping gloves as well. After the game, always try and wash your gloves immediately after the game if you can. If not, the same day. Again, the mistake a lot of goalkeepers make is to leave them in the glove bag for a day or two before they wash them. Some actually goalkeepers don't even bother washing them. If you leave dirt on your palms, guys, that grit is going to get into your palms, and then when you play and the ball starts hitting your gloves, obviously you've got grit, all bits and all dirt. That is going to destroy your goalkeeping gloves. Okay, so make sure you wash your gloves the same day, ideally. And again, you don't have to use any detergent. Don't put them in the washing machine. Just get a bowl of lukewarm water and just keep washing them and rinsing them out until they're clean. And like we said earlier on in the video, put them on top of the cupboard, on top of a towel, out of the direct sunlight, and let them naturally, naturally dry by room temperature. Super important. So there's just a few tips there, guys. Okay, yeah. Also as well. Yeah. So your gloves, goalkeeping gloves, as long as you've still got the grip, the gloves can actually wear away. You might look at the gloves and go, "Wow, they look bad," but as long as you've got the grip, you can still use them. Okay, as I say. So when I played, especially as a youngster, because my parents never had much money, I used to wear my gloves more or less to the bottom of until you could see the other material coming through. I actually, one pair of gloves when I was professional, because the grip was that good, I wore them for about 3.5-4 months, which is a very long time for a professional goalkeeper to wear the gloves. And they were, if you looked at them, you would have thought, Ray, what's a professional goalkeeper? Why are you wearing them? But the grip was absolutely amazing. I probably never had a goalkeeping glove like that, to be honest with you. In fact, all the Velcro would come off as well, so I had to every time the gloves are on, because the strap wouldn't stick to the Velcro. I actually had to put tape on my gloves every game. The grip was that good, and if you would have seen the wear and tear on, you would have went, whoa. As long as they're performing, as long as you got grip on the gloves, guys. Okay, still use them. Okay, so I hope that helps, guys. Okay, yeah, as I say, a lot of the time, unfortunately, the reason for the wear and tear on goalkeeping gloves, and also as well, mums and dads always think that, well, not always, but they think it's a fault with the palm. No, as I say, guys, unfortunately, it won't be a fault with the palm. It will be the playing surface. That's the problem. It could, I've already mentioned, this could be the football as well, or the soccer ball. If you're using a football or a soccer ball, I've seen it time and time again. If the ball is worn away and you're saving a football that's worn away, that's not got a good. Again, we've all played with footballs or soccer balls and it's worn away. That is going to destroy your goalkeeping gloves as well. Even actually pulling your socks up with your goalkeeping gloves on, that is going to put wear and tear on your gloves. Again, you've got to remember the palms are a super soft material, so you've got to be so careful with the delicate, guys. Okay, yeah, because a hard surface is always going to win, as I say. But as I say, guys, just because it's getting wear and tear doesn't mean that you can't use the gloves. And again, unfortunately, because obviously as goalkeepers, we don't know obviously what type of football is going to be getting used. Again, if I was playing in a game situation and the football wasn't the best, I'd take my good gloves off and put my second pair of gloves on, because it can do that much damage, guys. Okay, but as I say, guys, yeah, I hope that helps. Obviously, help you understand the wear and tear a bit more. Like I was going to mention before, frustratingly, as goalkeepers, there's nothing we can really do about it. Because it's all to do with the playing surface. For the most part, if the playing surface is bad, that's going to cause havoc on our goalkeeping gloves. That's why we always recommend that you have 2 pairs of goalkeeping gloves when you go. But also super important, guys, you've got to make sure that you keep your gloves damp throughout the game, because as soon as they dry, especially on dry surfaces, guys, your palms are going to wear away pretty fast. Okay, so I hope that helps, guys. One, to help you understand what causes wear and tear, and also 2, how to prevent wear and tear happening, but 3 as well, just to put your mind at ease as well. Just because you see wear and tear on the palms doesn't mean you have to go and spend more money, guys, okay? Yeah, as long as you still got the grip, that's the main thing. And you'll be surprised how worn a glove can be and they'll still have the grip. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, guys. Any questions, okay? Or if you're watching this on YouTube, if I've missed anything out below, please comment below, obviously to help your fellow goalkeeper, and especially parents of goalkeepers who might not understand this. And again, as I say, very quickly, because we see so many parents, they'll go and buy another pair of gloves because there's a bit of wear and tear on the glove palms. You don't have to do that. Hope that helps, guys. All the best.